Yeah, I am Ranjan Banerjee. I'm the group head of HR for Berger Paints. So three most significant trends are number one, everybody is going for ambitious growth targets, right? And therefore that leads to the need for agility and speed and a ready leadership succession pipeline. That's the impact. Number two, you will see that the business is getting more and more complex. So there are new product categories and offerings. And therefore, you need that kind of skill, continuous learning, upskilling avenues. So that's the second trend, which I find. The third, you have a lot of aggressive and innovative competition and new players who are entering the market. So obviously, innovative thinking and a culture as a differentiator will perhaps be the key for the success of any organization. So currently the GDP of the country is growing at the rate of 6.3% CAGR. And if you look at paint industry, it usually multiplies by 1.8 times. So we are looking at the paint industry growing from 70,000 crore, which it is currently, to about 1 lakh crore by 2028. Right? So that's a CAGR of 11%. That's how the industry is panning out. And with an infrastructure boom in the country, paint industry is going to grow. Every aspect of paint industry, whether it's decorative, whether it's industrial, whether it's protective coatings, every dimension, every part of the business is going to grow. So, one is a very sound business strategy. Okay. It's a very clear-cut business strategy, very simple, nothing complicated. And it's built upon the projected 11% growth of the paint industry and infrastructure growth that we're seeing. So that's one, the sound business. I'm not getting into details because that's business sensitive information. The second is exceptional talent that you have within the company. You have a wonderful blend of homegrown talent and lateral hires. So that's the second part of it. The third is very stable leadership team and a very collaborative culture, which propels innovation and experimentation. So these are the three pillars which are driving business growth and success in the organization. The proudest moment for me is when I could get large scale mindset change despite a very tough environment, which helped the ultimate consumer and therefore helped the business and got all stakeholders to align with the goal. So that was a tough call that we had to take in one of the organizations I worked for because we were faced with stiff competition and therefore flexibility was the key. And getting flexibility and agility in an environment which was rooted in a monopolistic market trend. I think that was one of the largest and the proudest moments for me because I was able to galvanize and rally around the entire organization, comprising of an 8,000 strong workforce, to align systems, processes, practices, entrenched practices, over 50-year-old practices to meet the market trend and to become agile enough to be able to look at what the consumer wants. The second is when I see people who have worked with me, people who have been part of my team, I see them becoming CHROs and heads of HR in other organizations. That really gives me deep pleasure And I feel privileged that I've been able to lead those teams and work with them. So number one, I would put it this way. Number one is courage. Courage to take on the status quo. Number two, differentiator, if I would put it that way, is understanding the environment in which I work, but not getting bogged down by that environment. And three, hard work and persistence and planning. If you don't plan well and if you don't communicate well, you can't get success. So, as I said, hard work, persistence, and planning, understanding the environment in which I work, and having the courage to challenge and change the status quo. One of them would be, I've got quite a few, but one of them who really stands out tall, is Mr. Yogi Tibeshwar, who was the chairman of ITC. And the reason being the way he steered the company out of troubled times to becoming a very successful in national enterprise. The steps he took, the strategy strategy that he formulated, and the manner of execution, which touched each aspect of the organization's working. I think that's the reason why I would look up to him as one of the tallest leaders in business today. My only advice would be manage yourself well. When I say manage yourself, means manage your time well, manage your health well, and manage your learning well. Keep these three things on top of your mind every morning that you get up. Manage my time, manage my health, manage my learning. If you take care of these three, and if you're focused, consistently focused on these three things, I think you'll be successful.